Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And yes, guys, today is the big day of the Swell event. And so definitely this week is going to have some crazy news coming up. So I definitely recommend you guys to press the like button on this video to help with the algorithm and to press that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Having said that, my very big question of today is, are you going to be watching Swell live? I definitely think it's going to be rather interesting, but do you guys agree with me, or do you think it won't really do too much? So just comment yes or no down below to show whether or not you're watching this or going to be watching this, because I think it's going to be crazy, but maybe you completely disagree, so let me know in the comment section down below. All right, starting it off, I think, kind of contrary to what I just said, we must also take a little bit of a look at a couple weeks in the future. And yes, I'm talking about the US election. I know, a lot of you guys did not want to talk about this too much. I think mostly because these things scare a lot of people, and they can have some grave consequences, so rather kind of hide it away. I get that, all right? I really get that. And the reason I do get it is because this stuff is going to be groundbreaking. I've earlier said this election could bring us to 8-year low levels. It could. And today, I've actually found something rather interesting, which got rather a lot of support. It's talking about if red happens, it is because Biden wins. And if green happens, or if Trump wins, we'll see green happen. That's basically what it comes down to. It made me think a little bit, The polls, they show things, but I don't really know exactly what to say from all of that. And I don't know if this stuff can be charted in this way and if this works. I believe in technical analysis and price analysis and things like that, but I don't know if it works this way where it's like, on the voting, we got a support, right, or resistance right here, and the resistance was broken, so we're going to put a stop loss. What are you going to do right there? But it just says Biden breakout after the first debate. I don't know what the trend line was for, though. Maybe to show that was going worse, but, or something like that. I really don't get exactly how this is supposed to be going, or if I should be believing it. But the thing is, people draw conclusions for stocks everywhere surrounding these articles, right? People surround these things with stocks everywhere. And again, this could be fake, by the way. I didn't really put too much attention into it. It's not about the numbers. It's about the thought that I put together with it. I've been seeing people everywhere speculate on which one is going to win and what's going to happen, but I don't really see that many people speculate on what's the effect going to be for crypto. What's the effect going to be specifically then for XRP? And I've explained to you guys multiple times, if the S&P falls down, there is a chance that crypto will really fall under the pressure as well. There's a chance. But the higher likelihood, the bigger chance that the good odds are with us that XRP will really maybe come down, but then get back right up, rise like a freaking phoenix. The reason I'm saying that is because let's see worst case scenario. That means S&P falls back down and crypto falls down with it because of the direct correlation. People lose their will to invest, people lose their capital, people lose everything really. And thus, they do not want to invest in crypto, take their investment out to afford living expenses, and so on and so forth. That is worst case scenario, because really one thing we're kind of forgetting is the fact that people, if the S&P were to fall like crazy, or if this thing occurs, most likely people lose faith in the government a little bit. Why? Because, the election most likely caused this big slump. And thus, trusting your government is maybe not the first thing on your mind if everything kind of went bad. So with that, of course, faith in the US dollar falls. So maybe your purchasing power falls, and looking from a broad perspective, and really everything kind of goes bad from that point forward, because what are you going to invest in? Stocks are just going down. Your currency is not worth that much anymore, at least it's falling. What is safe? What is your next best option? Well, gold is one. But gold is always a little bit of a strange thing to hold, right? It's a strange one. You can't really do much with it anyway. It's just really a store of value, period. But also, let's say it really comes down to it now. You've got your gold, but you want food, right? Because you're like, okay, I bought a lot of gold because I didn't want to have my currency. What now? Because I have a lot of gold, but I don't have food. Yeah, that's when you're going to have a problem. Because you're going to either have to find somebody that accepts gold as a means of payment, which I guess a lot will, but you will have to pay a lot more gold for all the trouble, most likely. Or you have to deposit and change your gold over into US dollar still, or whatever currency we're talking about, then over into your food. With XRP or some crypto, you don't really have that problem. And I think some funny guy will say, well, then just hoard food, as that's a store of value. Theoretically speaking, it's not that wrong. Some sorts of foods, if they don't really, perish that quickly, are good stores of value, right? They really are. Some said wheat and I guess oil, which is not really food, but wheat used to be, and corn. I think those two, especially wheat. I don't know about corn, maybe as well. I don't quite remember. Used to be very good stores of value because people would really trade for those actively because, well, it is food everybody would want it, so it's kind of liquid in that sense. You can always kind of trade for it back and forward, and you guys get the rest. It's storageable. You kind of have all the properties of money in that sense, even though it is not the same thing because it's storable, but it's not that savable. You can't really save it forever. You can save for a long time, but not really forever. Maybe potatoes would be better in a certain sense, but that would also get those little small green spots on it. I don't know the name in English. The thought of this is, though, that I think if things were to go bad in the stock market and things were to look bad in the election, it would only reflect positively for crypto because they'll look for a way out. And since people don't really want to go to gold anymore and they've heard a lot about this crypto thing, I think a lot of them will test it out and see. But that is only in a worst case scenario, though, because if they don't lose faith in the government and the US dollar stays the same, well, then they don't really have a reason to do that because they can just stay in the US dollar, which is then even easier, even more liquid for them, possibly. Not if they want to go abroad if the tensions are too big, but that's not thought about. And the other side, if the S&P were to just do well, I mean, then this whole discussion doesn't matter that much because if the S&P does well, there's really no question in my mind that crypto will just flourish from that all as well in the end. So I don't really question that. Together with this, you can kind of ask yourself, okay, what crypto will they go for then, though? Well, with some more and more thought in longevity and the big issue that oil is a little bit of a problem and, renewable resources are necessary and things like that. With adoption of innovative fintech like blockchain and crypto, sustainability must be prioritized in parallel. Here's why. Well, I don't think we need to press why. I think anybody can understand, any rational mind can understand why XRP will win this race quite often and why a lot of guys will most likely pick XRP over some other thing because it is just so much more sustainable. That's just my thought. Then Gregory Manarino said on Twitter, all right, and he is a guy that says financial experts in his bio, 43,000 followers. I don't know too much about him, to be completely honest, but he's definitely got a large following. And he just said this. People often ask, what is my opinion of XRP? Most already know, but I will say it again here. In my opinion, it is going much higher. I do own it, GM, which I guess is his abbreviation. Point made here is that I think a lot of analysts will eventually look at XRP as well and be like, well, you know what? There's a good solid reason why there could be a price increase. Again, let's refer back to my bookmark of David Schwartz, who has explained how a higher XRP price is beneficial to Ripple and to all of us in some way, shape, or form. So there's really no question in my mind that a lot of these guys have a higher purpose for it. But there's also no question in my mind that some guys more and more and more will be like, you know what? There's actually a good reason why it would go higher. No other coin in this space has the geopolitical standing of XRP. Well, to kind of address this one, it's kind of fun, right? Because Swell is just around the corner, but that's not the only thing that separates Ripple from a lot of these other crypto out there, that they can get some of the biggest minds in their conference. No, it's also the fact that there are some huge guys over at Ripple that have connections literally everywhere around the world. Ken Curson, board director of Ripple. Jared Kushner, President Trump's son-in-law. There we go. Here, again, we got another little piece. Directory of Monetary Markets, IMF. Chairman, Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority. Christine Lagarde, right there. You can see with the hair. She's very obvious. Chief Executive, Hong Kong Monetary Authority. And boom, Brad Garlinghouse right there. This guy, and really all the guys over at Ripple, they're everywhere. You know, they have a higher motive. They know more than the average guy. They're literally everywhere talking about these things. And by the way, Christine is pretty damn fashionable if you look at it like that. I mean, she always dresses up very freaking nicely. Must give it to her on that note. I have no idea how old she is actually, but you know, she looks pretty good for her age, most likely. At least pretty fresh always, good outfits. But again, a lot of guys will always claim scam. I don't really get that. You know, if it is a scam, it's a pretty well thought out one, because well, it's going to be one of the biggest ones in history. You know, and I think it's kind of worth the bet. A lot of people have changed their lives by switching over from working for a bank to working for Ripple. So if it's a scam, who's scamming who? Because, I mean, are they scamming all their employees and all of us then? But who's the guys at the top? Because, I mean, some guys have switched over from bottom positions to top. So, I mean, who are they scamming then? Is it just people holding XRP? But then what would the employees be for? And, you know, I think somebody would whistleblow eventually. Because why would you switch over from your high-paying, maybe even higher-paying bank job to work at Ripple when literally the primary thought is being innovative? I mean, it's not like those employees are going to be paid huge sums of XRP just for helping out or something like that. So I don't get that too much. How people can say it's just a scam. Another point here: XRP will not be $100 per XRP. $100 will be worth 1 XRP. So this one is a little bit more difficult to explain to some folk. And that is because for XRP to reach this $100 valuation, and really any crazy of $10,000, $15,000 prediction, what must happen is that we do not see the standard as being the US dollar. We must see the standard as being XRP. And basically from that point forward, the dollar valuation does not matter that much. It's about the purchasing power per XRP. In whatever currency you want, you can name it. In this case here, we're very often still using the world reserve system for this, where we're like, okay, that 1 XRP, same as you would say that 1 ounce of gold is this much dollars. So for the rest of this world, it has this type of purchasing power because we have measured it in the US dollar and we can transfer that over. We could definitely see it a different way around. It could be like, okay, you know, so this currency is about 1 XRP. It's literally just the other way around that it's valued in. Of course, it will ultimately still say the same, but it's just the way that we view it. It would be the opposite way around. Then, okay, like, oh, okay, that one is about 133 XRP worth, you know, and then see it like that and forward. The reason I'm saying that is because otherwise, these $10,000 predictions and things like that, they don't really work properly anymore. Because, well, they're definitely quite high, but also I think it would be rather difficult for people to really pay $10,000 per XRP because it would just take a long time. So XRP really needs to be the standard for some system like that to work properly. I didn't explain it too well right now, but just take it from me on this one, even though this is not financial advice, that for XRP to reach these ridiculously high prices, which are, again, possible, it could either be that the US dollar has lost its value, where $10,000 of US dollar is now only worth like $15. That's a possibility. Or is just switched up all the way around. But again, it is possible, theoretically speaking, still. And then VAR has shown us new corridor starting up for XRP. Well, yes, guys, don't forget, Ripple is always moving forward. And I think tomorrow at Swell, or even today, we'll even hear some more about the corridors. But I guess that is just a question, right? Because in the end, who knows? Only Ripple does, and we can only see and observe. What I know is that there's a ton of corridors on the way. Eventually they'll be there, and we can't think of them not being. So it's just a waiting game. But I definitely think Ripple is on their way to get a lot of them really quickly right now, if they get a proper framework. And maybe that's also one of the things stopping Ripple from moving out right now, you know, or from moving forward. I mean, that they maybe want to move out their headquarters and maybe have to rearrange a couple of things with the jurisdiction, so they're waiting for more lines and more progress. Maybe tomorrow is going to clear some things up, though, at Swell. Who knows? We can only wait and see. Guys, thank you all for watching this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Make sure you press the subscribe button and the like button to stay tuned for everything and to help out this video. Take care and have a very nice day, everybody.